Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Brandie. This might be one of my favorite videos I ever make. My sweet niece Zoey. Hi Zoey, Auntie loves you. Zoey has really taken a liking to watching the videos that I've been making. She's making soup. She's making an onion?
Yeah. Cut onion.
She's cutting an onion for soup.
Yeah, they got ready for soup.
Yeah.
They put it in the bowl. They put it in the bowl.
And she put it in the bowl. So that is my cuter than pie niece, Zoey. And when I saw how much fun Zoey is having watching Auntie's videos, of course, I had to let her pick what my next video would be. So let's bring that up so that you can hear yourselves what Zoey has picked.
Zoey, Auntie wants to know what you want her to make on video next. What should she make? Should she make soup? Pasta? Chicken? Make it at your home?
No, make it on her own.
At her home?
All by herself.
All by herself?
Yeah, the car.
Oh my goodness.
So you've heard it here. Per sweet Zoey's request, we are going to be making chicken with the ultimate homemade barbecue sauce that literally takes 2 minutes to dump everything into a mason jar, and you give it a good shake, and it has sat in the fridge for a couple of weeks. It is the best. You will not be disappointed. And then we'll be having all the fixings, obviously. So we'll be having some veggies and some mashed potatoes. I almost forgot. So on top of the chicken that Zoey chose for us today, I also asked her to pick a dessert for us.
Zoey, Auntie wants to know what should be for dessert. Pumpkin pie or something different? Pumpkin pie?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie it is for dessert. Obviously it's going to be vegan because I need to enjoy the fruits of my labor as well. But I promise you, I fed it to the most vegan skeptics and it passes the taste test. Stay tuned for a special spice at the end that I don't ever see included in pumpkin pie recipes, but you won't be disappointed. It really just adds a little kick and no one will ever guess what it is, but everybody will be thankful that you added it. I can't wait to make this with you, so come on along with me. Don't forget to let me know if you make it and how it turned out for you, but I promise it'll be amazing. So let's get cooking. Let's go. Hey guys, so here is everything that we need to start off with our pie crust. 2 cups of flour, about half a teaspoon of salt, so just a couple of grinds of the salt, and then a really small pinch of sugar, so I'm talking like a teaspoon at the most, a cup of butter, and so for the butter, you want the butter to be as hard as possible. So this butter, when you pinch it, it's quite hard. And I'm using my food processor today because I find it mixes it up with very little intervention and it really yields the flakiest pie crust. And it makes pie crust, for those that are challenged like me, super easy. After that, we're going to add half a cup of plant milk. I'm using oat milk. You guys know I love it. It's the creamiest and it's what yields the most decadent results in my opinion. So let's get this all mixed up. So just so you guys know, the blade that I'm using is this multi-purpose blade that comes with my Cuisinart food processor. So it's just that multi-purpose tool. I find it chops through the butter really, really nicely with minimal intervention, and it doesn't warm it up very much. So 3 cups of flour. Pinch of salt. That's about how much I'm using. The sugar. A cup of butter, so each of these sticks are half a cup. Okay guys, what I like to do with this butter is I will take it and I will just kind of chop it in cubes. About that big. No rhyme or reason, just to make it a little bit easier to mix. So I'll do the same with the other one. Now we might need more of that milk, but we mix it up and give it a stir first and then kind of check it and see what the texture is like. So let's put that on so let's get that blended. So we want to check it and we want it to be like coarse meal. I don't know how else to describe it. Let's see what this looks like. Yes, that's perfect. So, let me show you. See the texture? There's fine pieces of butter. You want all of that in there like that. And it should be coarse like that. But you should be able to roll it up. So this might be a little... It might be a little dry, so we're gonna add another 1/4 cup of milk to it and mix that up because it needs to be able to stick together when we roll it up. This a check. Oh yeah, you can see it's already sticking together. So that's perfect. So we are going to wrap this up in either some tin foil or some saran wrap. I don't think I have saran wrap, so we'll put it in tin foil and we will refrigerate it while we get our pumpkin pie mix ready, the filling, and then we'll roll it out once that's done. So we'll refrigerate this for a few moments while we prepare the filling, the pie filling mixture. right, guys, for the pumpkin pie filling, it couldn't be easy. We're gonna put all of the mixture into our handy food processor. I just gave it a light rinse, and we'll put the filling in there. So we are going to go with 2 cups of pumpkin puree, and this is pumpkin that I had made myself. It's really easy. If you want to make your own, it's so cool. It's just take your pie pumpkin, slice them in half, put them face down in your oven. I think it's 350 for about 40 minutes to an hour, and it scoops right out. So you'll see, like, I haven't even crushed this. This is still, but it'll get all mixed up in the food processor, but it's still like stringy. So 2 cups of our pumpkin puree. We're gonna take 3/4 of a cup of full fat coconut milk. You want the full fat, not light here, because that's what's going to give you the creamy texture. And then we're going to go with 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch. That's going to act as like our egg replacer and thicken our pie right up. And then we will do 1/4 cup of maple syrup. It might be Thanksgiving in the US, but in Canada we put syrup in everything, and don't skip that part. We will do a teaspoon of vanilla, some salt, and then for spices, some cinnamon. We have ginger. I like grated nutmeg better than just the powdered, but if you just have powdered, that's great. Some cloves, just 1/4 teaspoon of this. And then the star is just a little sprinkle of this cayenne pepper. This came from my grandma's place. I still have some of her spice jars that have her writing, and I could never bring myself to replace them. All right, Zoe, are you ready? Here we go. So we're going to take our food processor. Again, it's the same attachment with the 2 blades. We're going to use that. We're going to add 2 scoops of pumpkin puree. 1. So 2 cups of pumpkin. Is anyone else weird like me? The second that like liquid gets on my hands, I can't really stand it, and I'm constantly needing to wipe my hands. Okay, so Zoe, we have 2 cups of pumpkin, and what do we need next? Well, we need 3/4 cups of our coconut milk. So we have our coconut milk right here. So, it's about 3/4 of a cup. Again, this recipe is pretty forgiving, so it's 3/4 cup of our coconut milk. We're going to do 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We're going to do 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And then we are going to do 1/4 cup of our maple syrup. This maple syrup my mom gives me all the time, so it's real maple syrup. I don't know where she gets it, but she says she has tons, so I always mooch off her. So we have 1/4 cup maple syrup. We're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. A sprinkle of salt, so about 1/2 teaspoon. And now we're going to put our spices in. For our spices, we are going to do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, a little generous. We're going to do about 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. We're going to grab our nutmeg and do about 1/2 teaspoon nutmeg. I've never used fresh nutmeg, like it's so magical. kind of eyeball it. It smells so good. Look at how pretty that is. So pretty. And we're just going to, I'm gonna take your cayenne pepper and we're going to do just a shake, just to give it a little bit of a spice. This is actually a great tip for if you make ginger snaps, like just the smallest. And it goes such a long way. When you're making ginger snap cookies, if you give it a good shake, it's so super yummy and it gives you that bite. So we are going to mix this. There, I think that's good. So that is perfect for our mixture. So we are going to grab our dough out of the fridge and clean up this table, and we're gonna roll it out and mix it. Okay, we are ready to roll out the dough. So first we are going to lightly dust our surface, and I just have some more of the flour so it doesn't stick to our table. And when I wash the table down and dried it, you want to make sure it's really dry. I've not dried it before and it's been a big sticky goopy mess. So now we will unwrap our chilled dough. So I'm just going to cut it in half and put the other half aside, or 3/4 of it. I'm going to take about that off. Put that aside. Are you a cleaner as you go, or are you someone that can just cook all the way through and not clean? I am constantly doing dishes, and I feel like everything needs to be done before we even sit down to eat. Sometimes it's ridiculous. It's a problem. Okay, so we have our ball. We don't want to touch it too much. We're gonna flatten it just to make it a little bit easier. And then we're gonna give it a roll. So we're gonna lightly dust our, this kind of comes off, just mold it back together. what I should do is get my granny on here, teach us all how to make epic pie crust, because it is not my forte. So that should be big enough because we need it to go over the edges. So we want about 1 inch around. It's okay, I'm missing a little piece here, so I'm going to work this piece. So that should be good. So what I do is I just take this, grab a knife, and I'm just going to trim a little bit of the edges, so it's a bit easier. Now don't throw this away, we will put this aside over here. Then just take a little bit more of our flour. Now this tool is the best tool. It will let you scrape up in case it's sticking to the table, and it will let you kind of work it up. I'm just gonna take this gently over our rolling pin and work it up. So now that we have it in here, kind of give it a press. And you want to leave a little bit around the edges because it'll shrink and it'll go into itself. So I will kind of cut off that. I'm just going to take our mixture, I'm going to dump it in. Pie. All right, Miss Zoey, we now have a pumpkin pie that is ready to go into the oven. But first, I want to decorate it. So, given the very rustic state of this pie, I thought that maybe we could roll out a little bit of that leftover dough and make some stars and hearts. I hope you like stars and hearts, Zoey, and I hope you do too, everybody else. So let's get rolling and cutting. on to 350, and we are going to stick this beauty into the oven. So I always have an extra pan in there. This pumpkin pie should be fine because it's not all the way to the top. But I've had them spill over, and nobody likes cleaning an oven. So we will just push that down. Let that cook up. Okay, Zoe, you asked for chicken, and Auntie has a really, really good chicken recipe that Mommy's gonna have to make you. And I hope everybody else, you follow along and you really give this a go, because it's actually one of the things that all of my household will eat. It's easy for me as a vegan. All I need to do is grab a block of tofu. I'll show you that process. And I do the same thing that I do for everybody's chicken, except for my tofu. So I love a good meal where it's just, you know, easy from start to finish. Nobody complains when they sit at the table, and I really hope you'll give it a go. So we are going to start by making our barbecue sauce. We are going to start by taking our mason jar here, and we are going to add our ketchup. I've tried it with all different kinds of ketchup, really doesn't matter. So I am making a triple batch. So if you want just enough for your chicken, you're going to cut this in thirds. This costs like $5, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. So I got this strainer at Walmart. If you can find it, make sure you get it. It like collapses so easy, and it lays flat, so it's good to store. We don't have a big kitchen, so this is amazing. So a cup and a half of ketchup. And again, this is a very forgiving recipe. A little bit more, a little bit less, doesn't matter. Then we are going to take a cup of vinegar. So if you were doing this singles, that would be half a cup of ketchup and a third of a cup of white vinegar. I am going to add about a third of a cup of brown sugar for mine, but if you were doing it, you could add up to a quarter cup of brown sugar for yours if you were looking for sweet. Or additionally, you can substitute that maple syrup. So in goes the brown sugar. We have 6 tablespoons of melted butter. So again, if you were just doing a single batch, that would be about 2 tablespoons of melted butter. 3 tablespoons of chili powder. 1, 2, 3. So if you were doing single, you would do 1 tablespoon. 6 teaspoons of our dry mustard. And I do about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Like a generous teaspoon. Now that we have everything added, I wish you were here, Zoe, because you could shake. So when we see each other, maybe we can make this barbecue sauce together and you can be the shaker. So we are going to take everything and we are just going to give it a nice shake. So it is that easy to make this yummy sauce. Once you stick it in the fridge, it will thicken up a little bit. Alternatively, you can boil it down if you want a really thick sauce, but by the time it cooks up on the chicken, there's no need in my eye. Okay guys, here is what we need for supper. So we have our protein, and so Zoe, you chose chicken. So we have boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I prefer no chicken. So Auntie is going to have tofu. And then we are going to lay the chicken and the tofu on a bed of onions. We will cut these up in rings and we will lay these flat on the bottom of both pans. Now, after consulting with Zoey last night, I found out that she enjoys carrots. So we have some beautiful carrots here. We are going to cut these up into really small pieces. We're actually going to add them with parsnips. Now, fun fact, my granny always used to do like a carrot and a parsnip mash. Favorite thing ever, and like a little bit of butter. I think she put some sugar. She'll have to watch this and let us know. So hopefully you make it this far, Granny. And then we are just going to do some mashed potatoes and like, look at Zoey, Auntie loves you, and like, look at, we have a heart potato. So we are going to get cracking at this, and we will check in on that pumpkin pie very soon. Let's get chopping. We are going to chop our onions up and lay those down first. So let's get going. That was a rough onion. So this is just what it looks like. We will go ahead and lay our chicken and our tofu on top, and we'll season that up well. We're gonna just season it with salt and pepper for both, and some thyme. We'll sprinkle some thyme on there, and then we'll put the barbecue sauce on, and that'll be ready for the oven. This is your friendly reminder to go and eat more veggies. All right, everybody, we are on the home stretch. So we are going to cut our tofu. So we are just going to take this. I've already drained it. Cut it in half. Cut that in half down the middle. And then for this, I actually like little squares like that. And then I'm just going to take that and arrange that on our bed of onions, and then do the same for this piece. Perfect. So it looks like this, and then we will season it once we have the chicken in. So now we're going to do the same thing. We are just going to lay our chicken over our onions. All right, guys, I had an issue with my memory card, so I don't know where we were exactly. It's formatting again, so I had to put a new one in because the old one ran out. But we have our carrots and parsnips all cut up. We have our potatoes ready to go, and then we are cooking the chicken at 390 for about 30 minutes, and the tofu is in there as well. And then we will stop it at 30 minutes, take a peek, and if it's almost cooked, we'll sprinkle some cheese over top of it, vegan cheese obviously for the tofu, and then we will let that melt and call it a day. See you soon. All right, guys, let's check our chicken. It's been 30 minutes at 390. Oh, it's looking good. That's 2 and 3. So we are gonna sprinkle some cheese on, just like that, and back into the oven. It will go for about 10 minutes. Here's our tofu, looking delicious. We'll let that cook for another 10 minutes. I declined. I'm not going to put cheese on it today because it looks yummy, and I'll be happy just like that. The potatoes are going up. And the parsnips and carrots look really good. We are moving along. How is it?
Good.
How is it?
Really good.
Really good. 10 out of 10 would recommend?
10 out of 10.
Thanks so much for sticking it out to the end. Sorry, I had some technological issues with memory cards and cameras. All is fixed now and ready to go for the next episode, but I really appreciate your patience. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.